It's Joel, and I'm here to protest the U.S. Bats coup that is currently taking place right now in Bolivia.
Yeah.
Okay, so Evo Morales just won his fourth straight term elections that just happened a couple weeks ago. He won fair and square, beat his opponent by over 10 points, 10 percentage points. And since then, there have been protests and demonstrations, largely led by the right wing, opposing the outcome of the elections. And so, a couple days ago, the Organization of American States, which is 60% funded by the U.S. government, came out with this bogus report talking about irregularities within the election process, even though there were none. In response to that, Evo Morales then responded to that by saying that, okay, sure, we can do recounts. And recently, yesterday, he said that he would support re-elections, doing re-elections to get the results again. But right after that, an army officer came in and basically told Evo Morales, told him at gunpoint that you needed to resign. There's a word for that. It's called a coup. It's a military coup d'état that's taking place. It is the tacit support. Actually, it's not. It is a plan hatched and financed and backed by U.S. intelligence that has been trying to overthrow the government in Bolivia for a very long time. They do not want any indigenous, socialist, left-leaning government in that region. The U.S. considers Latin America its backyard through the Monroe Doctrine, and so now it is trying to violating Bolivia's sovereignty and backing and supporting and hatching this right-wing coup against the president. A lot of this has to do with the fact that Bolivia is trying to nationalize its lithium deposits. 43% of the world's lithium resides in Bolivia. Lithium is important for all of these green new projects that a bunch of capitalist governments are going to be trying to upgrade themselves with. It has a lot to do with that. It also has a lot to do with eroding the international support for the Bolivarian government of Venezuela as well. Bolivia is one of Venezuela's allies, and they've been trying to isolate Venezuela since their coup attempt failed there as well. So this is clearly another adventure in the U.S. hybrid wars that have been taking place all over the world. U.S. hybrid wars against Iran, U.S. hybrid war against Venezuela, U.S. hybrid war against Yemen, U.S. wars all over. And just because, it's not necessarily a hot war where troops are being committed does not make it any less of a war. It is a war where people die. The sanctions and embargo regime that the U.S. has placed on Venezuela has killed 40,000 people in the last 3 years. That's warfare. The U.S. is currently engaging in warfare there, and it's engaging it in Bolivia right now. And we're out here to firmly oppose it because we know what the plan is.
One question: is the media silent?
The media is framing this in a way. The U.S. media is framing this in a way, talking about how the elections were rigged and all sorts of misinformation. Of course, like they always do. That the media in this country is capitalist media. It's owned by the same billionaire interests that are trying to overthrow this government. So no, the media. It's worse than silent. It's presenting misinformation about U.S. Media wants to portray the U.S. as sort of like this international arbiter of peace and justice and democracy, but it's not. It is actually engaging in warfare, in covert hybrid warfare against these nations, and the media is covering them.
What's your name?
My name's Joel.
Right-wing coup!
He's not supposed to be here. The police need to kick him out.